Namaste, friends. My name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my channel, VedicAstrology. Big thank you to the paid members of our YouTube channel. Appreciate your support. And today we'll talk about Venus in Ashlesha. Now, this is a relatively very quick, short transit, about 11, 12 days, but it's very, very significant. We'll see why. So, as always, we'll discuss the qualities or karakas of Venus. We'll discuss the nakshatra, Ashlesha, and then we'll combine those. And then we'll see, discuss a lot of remedies. So don't miss the intro section. Majority of the remedies will be in the intro section. Those are generic for all the rising signs. And then we'll go one by one, cover all the 12 rising signs. So Venus in Ashlesha, Ashlesha is the sign, nakshatra, it's in Cancer. Okay, so we'll have the energy of Venus plus Moon, of course, for Cancer. And Ashlesha and Vimshotri Dasha sequence, it's ruled by Mercury. So there's energy of Venus and Mercury and Moon. So as you can see, it's a very, very emotional and mental kind of energy, all around the area of relationship and love and romance. At the same time, the very significant thing happening is that Venus is also going to be trines to Rahu. So Rahu, and so you add up Mercury, Moon, Rahu, Venus, all those planets, and so very intense, very tough, difficult, transformative time for relationships, especially. So overall, Ashlesha, of course, it ruled by the Sarpas. The deity are the serpent gods, and so there's a theme of change, transformation, but also poison, and it's like two fork. It could be the keepers of the wisdom on one side, or they could be inflicting poison on the other side. So it's a very deep nakshatra, connected with Kundalini awakening. And this combination makes a very potent combination for healing, deep healing from within. So the biggest thing we'll realize, observe with this combination, with this transit, is that there will be a lot of intense relationships. There will be a lot of obsession in the relationships, a lot of clinging, and like deep emotional turmoil in the relationships. I mean, there could be tears, there could be drama. So all of that is possible. There's also going to be deep healing and transformation. Now, Venus is a big planet for healing. Venus is Shukracharya. He was the only one who had the Sanjeevani Vidya. So we'll see a lot of deep healing and transformation and mysticism, like even tantric healing, energy healing, Kundalini awakening, all of that. On the negative side, we may also see a lot of manipulative tendencies, trickery and jealousy and deceit. There'll be lot of sensuality, secretive romance. Intuition will be at its peak. There'll be deep emotional layers of intimacy, transformative love, but there'll be a lot of emotional depth and intensity. Okay. And Ashlesha, it's very protective also. So there'll be very nurturing and caring, protective energy around love and relationships. So people will be very protective of their relationships. At the same time, extreme creativity. This is going to be a fantastic 12-day period. Creativity people might show in their relationships and love and romance, but in general, and then we'll discuss specifically for all the 12 rising signs where you can manifest that creativity, but there'll be a lot of obsession and secrets also, but also trust issues, trust challenges will be there. So that's the overall energy, Venus in Ashlesha. And that's how you want to analyze all of this. I have a course on nakshatras if you want to deep dive into all the nakshatras, and then we apply those to charts. It's a very practical course you can download from my website. In terms of generic remedies for everybody, first of all, a lot of focus on Kundalini energy, Kundalini yoga. So there's different types. You can do some routines, lots of stuff available on YouTube. So any of the Kundalini for yoga techniques or asanas, practices. But if not, just simple any of the twisting of the spine exercise. Of course, you know, it's not a medical recommendation, and also make sure you can do it. You know, it's easy for you only if it's easily doable. So anything to do with the spine is a great remedy. And then this is all connected with the Sarpas. The Ashlesha is the serpents, and then trines to Rahu. So the Sarpa Vasuki Gayatri mantra is a very powerful mantra. So that goes Om Sarparajaya Vidmahe Padmahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Vasuki Prachodayat. I'll put it in the description. Again, Om Sarparajaya Vidmahe Padmahastaya Dhimahi Tanno Vasuki Prachodayat. So, and then there's other mantras you can chant for the Sarpas. These are Pitri mantras. So, Om Pitri Devataya Namaha, Om Nag Devataya Namaha. Those mantras you can chant. Then honor your mother and women in general. Respect the women, help the women in your life, and especially your mother also. That's a good remedy. Then you can do puja of Lord Shiva. Shiva mantras, Om Namah Shivaya. Mahamrityunjaya mantra is a wonderful mantra because it'll help with the healing, but also bring that nectar, from the bottom of the ocean. You can do Rudra Abhishek or Abhishek of the Shivling, and focus on deep healing. If you are a healer, do lots of intense deep healing work. Or just if you're not a healer, you can simply listen to some of these guided meditations on deep cleansing and healing from within. You can do lots of pranayam, especially Anulom Vilom pranayam. Anulom Vilom is the alternate nostril breathing, which will help you balance the Ida and the Pingala, the left and the right channels, so that then that paves the way for Kundalini Jagran, awakening of the Kundalini through Sushumna. And in India, you can also offer milk to the snake deities, to the statues, Rahu and Ketu. You can make donations. You can chant Durga mantra because Venus will be trines to Rahu. And do lots of creative projects. Anything creative will flourish during this time. You can also do Lakshmi Puja, Lakshmi mantras. Om Mahalakshmi cha vidmahe Vishnupatni cha dhimahi tanno Lakshmi prachodayat. So those are some of the generic remedies that anybody can do. A very powerful time, these 12 days. And now we'll discuss the additional remedies and recommendations for each of the 12 rising signs. First of all, we have Aries rising. For Aries, Venus is transiting through your fourth house. And Venus is the second lord and the seventh lord, of course. So for Aries, very sensitive period for pretty much all your relationships with your mother, with your family, with your partner, both romantic partner like your spouse, or with your business partner. So be very careful. There could be a lot of scheming or secretive stuff going on in your relationships. That's one big caution for Aries. And then a lot of emotions and entanglement, and could be a lot of obsession from your side or from other people's side. Be careful about that. But very creative period for you. Your fourth house is activated. And so at your home, make your home a sanctuary and do lots of healing work. You can do, energetic work, and then lots of deep meditation. So that's going to be the theme for Aries. Next is the sign of Taurus. Of course, for Taurus, this is a very important transit because you want to see where the Lagna Lord is going. So for Taurus, that's your Venus is your Lagna Lord. And of course, and transiting through the third house, Venus is your sixth Lord and the Lagna Lord. So for Taurus rising, and for Libra also we'll discuss, but for Taurus rising, very sensitive period. You may feel very, very emotional during this transit in general, because your entire personality, your entire chart is getting affected, in fact, activated in a way. So Venus will be in the sign of, in nakshatra of Ashlesha. Okay, so be careful about sort of, any like secretive stuff going on. Sixth house is the house of enemies. So people may be doing things behind your back, and there could be issues at work, especially. Okay, so be careful about any of these, just any stuff going on at work, but also with respect to your younger siblings. There could be a lot of emotions running, first with yourself, second at your place of work, also third with your younger siblings or with your very close friends as well. But this is a time also will be sensitive on how you deal with your day-to-day challenges. You may feel very, very emotional. That is third house. Okay, so be cautious, but listen to the intro section. We discussed lots of remedies. Those all are for everybody, applies to everyone. So that's for the sign of rising sign of Taurus. Next is Gemini rising. For Gemini, Venus is in Ashlesha in the second house. Okay, and Venus is the 12th lord and the fifth lord. So in your romantic relationships, this is going to be very, very sensitive period. Could be a lot of scheming going on, secretive stuff or emotional stuff, just this obsessive, compulsive tendencies. And also I say secretive because Venus is your 12th lord in Ashlesha. 12th lord in Ashlesha means some deep scheming or secretive stuff going on possible. But your subconscious mind is deeply activated. You can really do very powerful healing work. You can do past life regression, connection with the ancestors, and you may feel a lot of emotional issues with your family also. Be careful when dealing with the family wealth, your assets, your accumulated resources. And your emotional may be very, I'm sorry, your speech may be very emotional during this period. That's all Venus. And then also careful with dealing with your children. A lot of emotional stuff might be going on, but excellent time for creativity. Your fifth house lord is in Ashlesha, a very, very deeply creative period. So that's for the sign of Gemini. And then listen to the intro section. We discussed lots of remedies. Those are applicable to all the 12 signs. Next is the sign of Cancer. Of course, this is supremely important. This transit is taking place in your Lagna. Venus is in the nakshatra of Ashlesha, and Venus is your 11th lord. Venus is your fourth lord. So anywhere fourth lord is involved, that means inner happiness. Things will really impact you very deeply. And now the fourth lord is in fact transiting through the Lagna. So direct impact on your whole chart, on your personality, on your being, on yourself. So this is a time of self transformation because Ashlesha is Kundalini awakening. You can literally awaken the Kundalini during this phase. But you may feel very emotional. There could be a lot of emotions running high at your home, in a place of residence, or with your friends. Be very careful, Cancer rising. Do not get involved in any emotional stuff or discussions on the social media. That is 11th house, even with your elder siblings or with your mother also. Okay, or your self dialogue. You might get too emotional just talking with yourself about things. Oh, I'm not good enough, this and that. So that self talk, watch out for that possibly negative self talk. So, but otherwise, this is transformative change and period of change, which can really help you figure out what makes you happy and then who you are. And so those things will bring you financial gains also. So that's for the sign of Cancer. And watch the intro section. We discussed lots of remedies applicable to everybody. Next is Leo rising. For Leo, Venus is transiting through your 12th house in Ashlesha, a very sensitive period. Venus is the 10th lord and Venus is your third lord. So sensitive because 12th house is the house of secrets. And Ashlesha is a very secretive nakshatra. Could be very, poisonous also, but could be very wise also, because those are the two big qualities of the snakes, of the serpents. And then Venus is going to be trines to Rahu also. So Rahu is illusion again, right? So there's a big theme of secrets, secrecy, illusion, scheming, hidden enemies. But you can also focus on the positive aspect, which is the hidden talents. 12th house is also the hidden talents. Lots of creative projects you can do, potential to awaken the Kundalini, literally that's to a subconscious mind. And then be careful about too much, emotions running at your work or scheming or any secretive stuff going on at your work, in your business. Same thing with the third house, which is the house of younger siblings and close friends and your neighbors. So be careful about that, and watch the intro section. We've discussed lots and lots of remedies. Those are applicable to everybody. So that's for the sign of Leo. Next is Virgo rising. For Virgo, this transit is taking place in your 11th house. And for Virgo, Venus is your ninth lord and Venus is your second lord. So Venus is the planet for speech and for higher wisdom and dharma and gurus. And then it's transiting through the 11th house. So there's a potential of getting emotionally involved with emotional issues with your gurus, with your teachers, with your father, and with your family also in general, also with your friends and on social media. So be careful not to venture out having any emotionally charged discussions with people on the social media. But then this is also really a period which can help heal some of your relationships with the gurus, but also make you a guru. Like this will enhance your healing capabilities. That's the ninth house, and then second house is activated. So second house Lord in Ashlesha. Be careful about emotional eating. That is possible. Right, that's second house. And then watch the intersection. Lots of other remedies that we discussed, and that's for the sign of Virgo. Next is Libra, and Libra is ruled by Venus. So the Lagna Lord is actually transiting through the 10th house. And so it's the Lagna Lord and the 8th Lord. So Libra, I would say among all the 12 signs, for Libra, it is the most sensitive period because first of all, it's the Lagna Lord that's involved. Second, it's the 8th house of change and transformation. Okay, and then it's the 10th, it's transiting through the 10th house, which is the house of public image and dealing with public, all of that. So really, this is, the time for Libra to awaken your Kundalini. Eighth house is all about change, transformation, and hidden things, hidden energy. Kundalini, that's all eighth house. And so at the base of the spine, that is, eighth house represents the anus, literally. And so awakening the Kundalini and change and transformation in yourself, in who you are, in your personality, that is your Lagna. And then also, but be careful, there might be lots of emotions running at your workplace, but also you may get emotional yourself, first Lord. So could be a lot of obsessive behavior or things like that, entanglement, secrets or secretive things going on at your work. And then be careful dealing with inheritance, be careful dealing with shared resources. Okay, so other than that, really powerful time to awaken the Kundalini and self-transformation. And watch the intro section. We discussed lots of generic remedies there as well. So that's for the sign of Libra, Libra rising. Now we have Scorpio rising, Scorpio Lagna, Scorpio ascendant. For Scorpio, this transit is taking place in your ninth house. Venus is in Ashlesha in the ninth house. Venus is your 12th lord and Venus is your seventh lord. So extremely sensitive period for your relationships with in your partnerships, one-on-one partnerships. There could be a lot of secretive stuff going on. That's 12th house. There could be a lot of hidden things that may come to surface, and a lot of emotions in your relationships, or with your gurus or with your superiors. And so the good remedy recommendation for Scorpio is do lots of things like Kundalini awakening or deep healing, deep cleansing, energy work. If possible, do that with your partner. That's the best remedy to heal the relationship, but also transform it. Also, good time to undertake any kind of higher studies or be in the company of the gurus. That will help awaken the Kundalini. So that's for Scorpio, and watch the intro section for additional remedies. Lots of things we discussed there. So that's Scorpio. Next is Sagittarius. For Sagittarius, Venus is transiting through your eighth house, okay, in Ashlesha. and Venus is your sixth lord, and Venus is your 11th lord. So a, a time of deep change, transformation, inner healing, finding out the secrets of the universe, who you are, Kundalini awakening, literally. That's the eighth house. All of that is indicated. Um, but be careful. This could be a very emotional period, emotional roller coaster, like up and down, and because it's trines to Rahu also. Uh, don't get involved in any emotional discussions on the social media or with your friends or at your work if you have a 9 to 5 kind of a job. So that's sixth house. Okay. This could also change and transform your health completely. It gives you this deep healing, deep cleansing power and energy that is Venus in Ashlesha. And so it's the sixth lord that is your health. So really fantastic period to discover deep healing modalities. And then watch the intro section. We discuss lots of remedies there as well. So that's for Sagittarius rising. For Capricorn, this transit is taking place in your seventh house, house of relationships. And Venus is your 10th lord, Venus is your fifth lord, right? So there could be a lot of emotional stuff going on in your romantic relationships or with your children or at your work, also in your profession, but also most importantly in your partnerships, one-on-one partnerships. That is the seventh house. And it's a very creative period for you. Fifth Lord is activated in Ashlesha. So work on creative projects at your in your profession or with your children, with your romantic partner, or if you're married, with your spouse, or in your with your business partner also. So extreme creativity. Also, this is a time. This is a time when there could be a lot of emotions in all these relationships we discussed, but also to heal those relationships, uh, to heal within. So it's a very powerful window of opportunity these 12 days. Watch the intersection also. We discuss lots of remedies there also. Aquarius rising. So for Aquarius, um, Venus is transiting through your sixth house. Okay. And Venus is the lord of your fourth house. Venus is lord of your ninth house. So this could be a very sensitive period for your parents if they are still alive. So fourth house is mother, ninth house is father. So emotional period, emotional ups and downs for your uh, parents or with respect to your gurus also, but also health also. This is a great time for you to transform your health completely and find alternative or natural ways of healing, alternate modalities of healing, deep cleansing, deep healing. And then also uh, some change, transformation in your dharma, in how you pursue the path of righteousness, but also with your mother in your place of residence. There could be lots of changes going on. And at your work also, be careful not to have too much emotional stuff going on. There could be secrets, something, but more than external, it's the internal enemies, the six weaknesses that you got to work on. But this is a window of opportunity to tackle those head on. So really powerful period of 12 days for Aquarius rising. Watch the intersection. We discussed lots of other remedies also. Next is Pisces, Pisces rising. And for Pisces, this transit is taking place in your fifth house. And Venus is your third lord and Venus is your eighth lord. So a period of deep transformation here. That's the eighth house. And Rahu is sitting in your Lagna, of course, and Venus is trines to Rahu. So there could be a lot of emotions and illusion, but also um, kind of obsession with respect to your romantic relationships, with respect to your younger siblings, or with respect to inheritance, shared resources, all of those. So be careful in those areas. But then it's also a period of where you can literally have Kundalini rising, awakening of the Kundalini. That's eighth house. It's a period of very big uh, creativity. You can use the fifth house energy to create some things, but most of all, go very deep and heal yourself, transform yourself, and do the same with your children also, for them also, because Venus is in the fifth house. And watch the intro section. We discuss lots of additional remedies there in the intro section as well. So that's what's happening with all the 12 rising signs. As I mentioned earlier in the intro section, this is a relatively short transit, but extremely powerful for all of our relationships, for our healing, for love, romance, all of that. And literally, you can awaken the Kundalini in these 12 days, work on, do deep meditation and follow some of the remedies that we discussed in the intro section, but also for your specific lagna. And thanks for watching. Thanks for your time. Namaste.